Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Little Blue Fly. If this is your first time visiting, welcome, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel. It is as simple as tapping that red subscribe button, making sure to select all after you have tapped the notification bell. So yay everyone, we have finally made it. It's been a little over a year since we have moved into our 81-year-old stone cottage, and I am so happy. Well, as you can see, this is the original picture when we first moved in, and I am so happy to have given this staircase entryway just a little bit of warmth and color. I just so enjoy that. I so enjoy a colorful world. So I hope all of you enjoy this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Would love to hear some comments. All of you have a fabulous Thanksgiving. Enjoy family, friends, food, laughter, just all of it. So let's get right into the video. Second one will post right after the holidays, okay? So that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so I am going to share just a little bit of molding. I decided I wanted some dimension to my staircase spindles, and here is the clay, the molding clay that I used. And this I know it can be purchased, well, from Walmart. That's where we purchased ours. But it is a pretty popular clay. As you can see, I've already used half of it. I kept telling myself, okay, I have to show them, I have to show them. And here's the mold I used. It's by Redesign, and this was purchased from Amazon. And I will link it in my description box. And you know, guys, I think I used the most difficult mold that there is out there. This one was like, wow-wee, so many different, just so much detail to this mold. But again, I will link it in my description box, and it can be purchased through my Amazon storefront. Now look, okay, I'm just a bit sensitive about this. I like the color of the mold in the picture, and I didn't get that, guys. I got this blue one. I didn't want a blue one. I wanted the other one. Anyways, I have a little bit of dry clay here. Make sure after you make each mold that you thoroughly clean your mold out. Otherwise, it can leave unwanted impressions. And the birds, their little feet here, well, sometimes they don't come out, but that's okay, because they can just sit on top of flowers and they will be just fine. But for the most part, just a wonderful, wonderful mold to work with. So I like to, you know, roll it in my hands for this. This is the longest mold on this tray. So I just, you know, try to make it longer and press it in, because I hate to have to go and add, you know, more molding clay, because it seems like it just doesn't hold together as well when you piece it. So I try to keep it all in one piece. And as you can see with the excess, I'm just rubbing it off with my fingers and my thumbs. Now some people use a roller. I didn't care to do that. I wanted to be more hands-on. Then you just flip it over and you bend the mold and you try your best to get it out. And if it breaks, that's perfectly fine. You can mend it back together or use them separately. Now again, this is the longest one, and See, you can get them all out in one piece. Now I placed all of them up on the spindles using E6000 glue. And before I placed them up, I made sure to paint the outsides of them with my antique gold paint. It's by Folk Art, and I purchased mine through Joann's, but many people carry it. It's the antique gold. And I actually placed 2 coats of the gold on each mold. And then I let it dry, and I added on my antiquing wax. And many of you know what that is who have been following me, and those of you who do not, it is an antiquing wax. It's in many of my videos, and I purchased it from Michael's. And I just added on top of my gold to give it some extra warmth, and helps to make it look a little bit aged. So you let the paint dry thoroughly, and then you add on the glaze. Now I want to point down to the baseboards. My baseboards were white. I wanted to warm them up a little bit, so I used, I believe it's Ashen Tan, and it's from Benjamin Moore. I prefer it so much more over the white baseboards. And on the tops, and I'm going to be listing the paints in the description box from Benjamin Moore. It is a black enamel. I still have the top step to do. And all of the tops I painted black. So all the baseboards, minus the door arches, have been painted the Aspen Tan. Now these right here are fabulous. They were purchased from Beau Arts. The owner's name is Stuart. He is fabulous to work with. He really makes the whole process easy to get through, and I highly suggest you go to his website, let him know the Little Blue Fly sent you, and he makes radiator covers, as you can see here, medallions to go around lights, picture frames. There's just vents for your air ducting system. And his work is just phenomenal. And again, if you have any questions, he's so good at answering them. So again, let him know the Little Blue Fly sent you. So here are a couple pieces, a couple very large embellishments. And one is going to be up at the top and the other down at the bottom. I'm not going to necessarily show how we put them together. It does come with great instructions. You do use a few nails and some glue to help hold them on. And you're going to see how a left-hander's brain works. So here it is right here. Okay, so we put the frame together, but I wanted to make sure that it had a good hold, and I didn't want the tape to possibly mess up the color, so I put a cloth on it. And guys, that's just how a left-hander's brain works. But it worked well. It really did. So I kept it on overnight. And then I put in a wallpaper. It's not a wallpaper. I've shared it in a previous haul. And here we go. Once upon a time, our fairy tale is finally starting to take shape here at the cottage. Now, the book, the decals on the back parts of the steps, we will put a listing for them in our description box. It is an Etsy shop, and they are book decals. The Once Upon a Time, I will be sharing hopefully soon how I placed that up. And we're just going to work our way up the staircase. I am so relieved to finally have this part of the cottage completed for the most part. And right in center, of course, we have none other than our Lord Baxter. He is going to be keeper of all the wonderful storybooks. Lord Baxter, he was actually purchased from a shop in North Carolina, but I will try to find one and link him. We're going to move our way right on up, but first, I have to announce Scott Gustafson. He is incredible, everyone. You must go to his site. He has storybooks, he has lithographs, different prints. He is absolutely magical, and he will definitely bring the light of childhood and everything that feels good just back into light. Just, I cannot tell you how much his work has touched me. And I plan on putting several lithographs throughout my home. So please go and visit him. He is great for gift giving through the holidays. Wonderful presents for family and grandbabies. And this first lithograph is Rumplestiltskin. Now, all these lithographs I'm about to share, they have been in previous videos as well. And I go much closer in on the lithographs than in today's video. And the next one I placed up is the Frog Prince. Just as magical. Now, the frame on Rumple is a little bit more substantial, and that is because Rumple, he is basically the king. He is the master in the fairy tale land, so his frame had to be more substantial. And then Little Red Riding Hood. I'm going to show you down. Here's Little Red Riding Hood here. All these pictures were matted with black velour matting, and they were all placed together through Hobby Lobby, and I put gold nameplates on them. Now, up above here, I needed to figure out how much space I was going to have. I plan on having many different magical clocks up here. Our electrician is going to be coming at the beginning of the year, and we're going to be placing in little cottage fairy tale lights here in the hallway, well, in the stairway, because it does get kind of dark. This long piece right here wall, it actually slants. I'm putting Jack and the Beanstalk here, and we will be painting by hand different vines and leaves and just magical things that are going to come off of the beanstalk. And here is another lithograph. Peter Pumpkin Eater, and on the sides we will have Peter's garden with many different wonderful creatures and new friends that will soon greet you all. He's just fabulous. So this, going up the wall, this is what we have going for right now, and many more magical items are going to be placed in. I would like to give you a close-up now of all of my molding. It has been aged with the antiquing wax. And as you can see, I just place the molding on one spindle and then I skip 3. And that's because, well, I might put one, I might skip one and then add another, but I really wanted the artwork to show through. I didn't want the spindles to drown out the lithographs. As you can see, there's little fine cracks in the molding, which just adds into all the whimsy goodness. And I wanted to keep my spindles lighter in color just because the staircase is kind of dark going up. So I needed to add in a balance between the warmth and the light. These molds, they're fabulous. And I'm going to be having many more videos with these. You can use them to embellish boxes or picture frames or ornaments. Christmas ornaments would be great. And now we're going to move ourselves over to this corner. Now I'm just going to be adding in a few things today. I gave you a little sneak peek of my chandelier. We're still putting crystals in. This chandelier came from Germany back at World War II. An airman brought it over to the States, and it is made with ashfore crystals. I don't know if many of you are familiar with them, but it has more of a detailed shape to the crystal. They're not flat. They're more of a prism. I'm sorry. But as you can see to the right there, many crystals still have to be added. And then we have a large ball that comes down from the center. But we're going to be adding something pretty fantastic up above it. Now over to the left by the mirror, the bird mirror. This mirror I believe it was Uttermost who I purchased this from. I'm not sure if it's in my Amazon storefront or not, but this table was a Facebook Marketplace find when we were living in New Jersey, and I absolutely love this 2-tiered tray table. And sometimes I still see them on Marketplace for sale. As a matter of fact, one of my subscribers actually found one. She sent me a picture. And I just placed a tree off to the side on the radiator, and my enamel type of, I guess you call it an urn. And then I placed on, this was just recently in a decorating haul, my candlestick from Facebook Marketplace. Actually, candle sconce, wall sconce, very heavy. I placed in my buffet. That was, I don't think I was doing Facebook Marketplace back then in California. I think this came from Craigslist. I could be wrong. But anyhow, that's where I picked it up at. And it just fits perfectly with the old world whimsy French country feel. Fantastic painting on this piece. It is by Butler. I do know that. And it was just narrow enough to fit in that spot. And next up are these 2 lamps. The bases were purchased many years ago from Kirkland's, and I made the lampshades myself. I love the glowing of the red. I normally don't like white inside my shades, but these ones I do, and I added on the beads to make them just perfect.